Hi there, guys and girls, lords, ladies and gentlemen. It's Nick broadcasting to you again on the Get Me Off Grid video blog. Great news, alright, I've done it. I've pressed the button on eBay and the first delivery of solar cells will be on its way to me not too far down the line. Okay, we got a bank holiday here in England, so it might take a bit more time for it to get through. I don't know, but I'm just hoping it's going to be, sooner rather than later, so to speak, so I can get cracking on that. Obviously, it would be pretty cool if I can give myself a period of like 6 months or maybe a year, not just for me to make one panel, because that's not really the goal. I want to try and get something like 1 kilowatt, 3 kilowatt, 5 kilowatt together, a large quantity, so I can generate a large quantity of electricity. I mean, there's great things about solar. The first and foremost is the most obvious. You get electricity from sunlight, but then you've got to think creatively as to what you're going to do with it. So once I started to create the first few panels, I then got to design something else which can help me another time of the year. Within the UK, I know we're a small country, we're surrounded by water, but we do get droughts. Alright, and these are times of year when we're not allowed to use our hose pipes in the garden. And of course, you're still going to want to water your plants or drink plenty of water yourself. So essentially, I'm going to think about designing the system to turn sunlight into water. Okay, this is not like some kind of science fiction fantasy. This is something which is doable. And that's one of the reasons why I'm telling you about this in the bathroom. It's a watery room, okay? So think about it. I mean, you use water all the time. You bathe with it, you shower with it, you wash with it, you flush with it. You're always using the water. You're doing the washing up with it. It's actually a very important thing to keep going with, okay? So if you're in a totally self-sufficient situation, wouldn't it be great if you could generate enough water, just taking it straight from the air, using solar power, to be able to satisfy all of your water requirements? Now, the way that we do this is with Peltier coolers. So, one of the next pieces of research I'm going to do is not only to see whether I can get Peltier coolers. I know I can get Peltier coolers. These are thermoelectric devices. I'm sure you've heard about them. And what you do with them is you put a current through it. One side gets cold, the other side gets hot. Okay, so on the cold side, you have a heat sink. The reason for this is the heat sink gets cold, condensation will form on it, and it will then start dripping off it. Now you build a whole bank of these things, alright, a large bank of these things with a lot of these wonderful heat sinks on it. And you can get probably a steady flow of water. Underneath it, you put some guttering and a downpipe. Underneath the downpipe, you have yourself a water butt. And it's quite simple. The water will drip off the heat sinks and go into the gutter and then go into your storage facility, being a water butt. Now you've got one big problem there, and that is that some of the metals from your heat sinks will end up in the water. Some of them could be toxic. It could be a 316 grade stainless steel you're using for your heat sinks. It could be nickel. It could be aluminium. Alright, now all of these things can be bad. You don't want those metals in the water. So then essentially you get a distillation device and you can distill the metals out. No problem, you got pure, clean, distilled water which you can actually drink. Okay, that's one solution. You can power your distillation machine from the solar panels as well. Okay, use the solar panels, power the Peltier coolers, get the water. Next day, take enough water, distill it. Then you've got drinking water. So essentially your raw water straight off your water generator can be used for your flushing, your bathing and all that kind of stuff. But you distill it as well, and then you got your drinking water. Not a problem. So that's one solution as to what to do with it. Also, there's a question of getting the right inverters. Whilst I'm still living in this property, it would be good to be without electric bills anyway, wouldn't it? Okay, the winter's obviously a bit difficult, not quite so much sunshine then. Would love to do wind power, but in this particular place I don't think I can actually erect wind power. I might try and find a way of doing it, but I'm not too sure. Or maybe if I just have enough solar, then I could compensate that way. That's still a long project to get it all done, but like the first batch of solar cells is on its way. So, you know, we can start doing it. We can start making things happen and making the project actually work. So you'll be seeing me generating the dream. Okay, it's not just my dream, it's the dream of society, because we've got to do this in order to make sure that everything's going to go okay, basically for humanity. Alright, unless we can try and find ways of getting completely and utterly off, like oil, scarce resources and the rest of it, we're all doomed. That's the way I see it anyway. I mean, I could be wrong, there may be lots of fun ways around it, but if you think about it, if you actually had a look at the news and you see what could be causing the wars, and the fact there are wars over oil, for instance, maybe it would be better if we just got the heck off the oil. Right, and then it'll be a question of working out the space heating solutions for the winter as well, and seeing what we can do there. Try and work out what limited things I can do within this property, and then try and extrapolate out beyond that. And also lighting in the winter, and trying to get that sorted out. Again, solar will be an important component, but I'm sure there's other ways in which we can do this. I've got a few ideas going on in the back of my head, so bear with me on that. So if I can take this property here, which I don't own, and try and bring it up to a good level of reasonable autonomy, then that would be pretty positive. And then, once of course all the donations have come in via the link below, what we can do is we can take that onto a piece of land, and you can see the dream coming into reality. You can learn how it's done, and you'll actually see someone doing this from scratch. Every single step of the way, I'm in a video and I'm going to show it to you. That's what you're paying for. That's what you're going to get. Every single step of the way. It's Nick on the Get Me Off Grid video blog. Speak to you soon. Bye for now.